about unions like 1199 in, you know, the human services field like that, because the last agency I worked for, I was there for 10 years. And for the first 4 years, they were not unionized. And then the union came in and they voted them in. And now they're really unhappy with the union because they're really not doing anything for them. And it really changed the atmosphere of the agency. It was more like a family type atmosphere. And then after the union came in, it was all business. And it really did, I think it destroyed the agency. Well, part of it at least.
What kind of agency was it? Did it have a
Same
name?
thing, individuals with developmental disabilities.
You know, at one level, this is an easy question because really, you know, I do believe in unions, and I do believe workers, particularly in the service industries, are desperately needing unions because the wage structure and benefits are, I mean, beneath low. I mean, there's so few companies, and once again, our union operates in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas, so it all looks like up to us from there, right? So, but the companies we've organized, particularly even in community homes, all started at no benefits, no holidays, minimum wage, you know, thank God you get, you know, whatever hours, and shut your mouth and that's the pay. And so everything's up. Now, is it where it should be? No. I mean, now these states are so crunched on their budgets, we're having trouble holding on to even you know, a couple of dollars above minimum wage that they've gotten to and the little benefits we've had. So,
because we hadn't gotten a raise in 5 years when I had left.
what is hard for you to know and understand sitting in Connecticut is, in some ways, how amazing the job 1199 New England actually did do in Connecticut, because it's the only place where a human services union in that area that you're in had comparability between state workers doing that work and private sector workers, and kept it nonprofit. I hate to tell you this, as bad as it may seem, and I know you're stuck or whatever, that exists nowhere in the other 49 states and territories. So, you know, Connecticut has its problems, and I know I've heard a lot about them from the local, and I still know a lot of people, so I know there are real issues, and I can't.
Well, I didn't realize that Connecticut was, you know.
But if you ever, you know, move to another state and start looking at it, and you see here's what's left of the state workers and their pay structure, here's where what's been privatized, the privatization lowered all the wage scale, non-profit or for-profit. It's not, and yet you had equity on pay scales in Connecticut. That's the only place.
Well, most of their issues is on grievance procedures, and they have to make their
Yeah.
delegate work.
Yeah.
I mean, when your delegate sits behind a desk and answers phone calls and doesn't return, or gets your phone calls go through an answer machine. Because I had to handle a situation for my mother-in-law. You have to make your delegate work. If you don't make your delegate work, it doesn't work. That, you know, that's it in a nutshell.
And you know, now that you say that, my daughter had that same problem. She worked for the same agency I left. And she had like a bunch of grievances, and the delegate lost them all.
That's when
And
you
then it
file a
was
labor
too
charge.
long to bring them
Yeah, I
back to the
understand.
table. And, I mean, some of them were pretty serious.
That's why you have the NLRB. That's when you bring it to their attention. And I hate to say this because even I've had charges filed against the union or local that I ran because they may be frivolous, because the outcome wasn't the one that they felt that they should have.
Yeah, but you got a duty of fair
Right.
representation.
Right,
You know, you gotta.
But you go through that process, and if you've done the best that you can representing someone, then you have nothing to do, you hold your head up high.
Two more, you know, I'm glad I put you together. So you have any more union problems, you got a brother right here who's,
Well,
you
see, I
know.
wasn't in the union.
I
that's
know,
being
but you're
announced.
hearing stuff and he's got some answers,
You
so
know,
that's.
because, yeah, it is.
This is
just-
better than Facebook, we can put it right together this way. You don't need to tweet about this, you can put this right together. I'm gonna take two more quick questions
No,
and
I
let
was
people
gonna
grab
talk to you
some to
about
eat.
another social movement.
Huh?
A social movement. Like you talked about social movements in the past or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the future. One of the social movements that I see us coming to almost is something like Kent State, the way we're having so much violence in society. I mean, we had a movement down south where we had to send in the armed forces to get people.
When you say Kent State, you're talking about.
I'm talking
police-
about Ohio.
Yeah, I understand what you're
when they
saying,
kill the students,
but, okay.
okay?
And that's what you see coming as
I-
police
I-
actions on
Because of all the actions,
civilians?
yeah, you know, with what we see today in today's society, you know, we have these movements where, even in today's discussion, they said there was no structure for Wall Street, you know, the movement.
Yeah, Occupy Wall Street, right.
There was no structure, there were no leaders.
Yeah, that's really not true,
And,
but yeah.
and when you see the Tea Party, they do have leaders, we don't agree with them, of course. But when you look at any type of group getting together, congregating and gaining strength, they're always met with hostility. And you see groups of individuals who meet with hostility, being brought up on charges, you know, bomb court buildings, whatever it may be. I see that come forthcoming, you know, where there's gonna be a group that gains momentum and something's gonna happen to them violently because of a disagreement.
Well, I know what your world is like, and I know what you're saying, and I'm just gonna continue, you know, in my little naive way, hoping that if we keep pushing, we'll end up on the other side. I'm not gonna go to that place. Okay, here's another, not every question is gonna get an answer here. I'll listen to everything. But give me one more question, we're gonna call it, somebody new, anybody in the back row?
I just had a comment. I really enjoyed your blog. I'm glad you made us read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
No, but I really.
See, that's the
did.
advantage of coercion, just like you
Yeah,
said.
well, you know, I wouldn't even know it was there.
How
so,
would you, yeah.
I enjoyed it. I
Well,
enjoyed
thank
reading
you.
about Louisiana prison, Paul,
Mhm.
because I feel bad, like, if these people do anything wrong there, they might as well, it's.
You're
a
out of
death
luck,
sentence.
Chuck, yeah, you're gone, pick on, share.
Yeah, so I was a little,
But I don't know if it's that much better up here, frankly. You know,
Much better.
too.
Much better in Connecticut.
Yeah, it's much better, but, well, I don't know.
I hope I never
It's
have
much
to
better
find out.
Yeah, don't find out, yeah, you know. Okay, so look,